New Zealand's fastest growing fruit and vegetable subscription service, Wonky Box, is elevating its mission to combat food waste even further with the launch of its exciting new venture, the Wonky Pantry. Kiwi households can now choose from a curated range of rescued food items for their Wonky Box deliveries. From surplus stock and short-dated goods to items with minor packaging flaws. With 1/3 of food produced globally wasted from farm to fork each year, highlighting food loss throughout the supply chain, the Wonky Pantry gives these special products a second lease of life. Co-founders of the company are Kate Jackson and Angus Simms, and Angus, bless him, he's got off the forklift to talk to me. G'day, Angus.
Yeah, g'day. How's it going?
No, doing a bit of work around the warehouse, I gather, or somewhere.
Oh, nothing quite like getting your hands dirty every now and again. Yeah, no.
Good man. Hey, Angus, before we jump into this latest venture, can we talk a little about Wonky Box and how it came about with you and Katie?
Yeah, sure thing. No, absolutely. So essentially, we've been around. We're about to head into our 4th year, so gosh, and that time's just flown by. But basically, wow. we were witness to the problem that we're trying to solve firsthand. I guess it was 4 summers ago where we just returned from the UK. I'm a Kiwi-born, I suppose half Kiwi, half Brit. Katie, she's essentially fully English, but we moved back here throughout, I guess, the start of the lockdown, and we didn't know what to do. We quit our careers in London, came back down here and started travelling around, and we were picking up seasonal work in the South Island actually upon our travels. So we were picking orchards and we were working with growers' orchards, and then we even did a hop season down on the outskirts of Nelson.
Oh, wow.
So we were kind of
cool.
Yeah, it was. We spent a summer, I guess, in the thick of it, working in the horticultural industry, and realised firsthand from actually working on some of these farms that there was a serious problem cosmetically for a lot of the produce that they were growing.
Yeah.
And I guess it was that witnessing it firsthand also kind of allowed us to reflect on some of the initiatives that were working overseas. So, I guess predominantly in the UK where we spent a lot of time, there was a lot of food waste reduction initiatives at sort of retail level and home delivery, in the home delivery space as well, that were sort of tackling this problem. And it kind of just, I guess, just rung some bells to us then. And then we kind of looked into a bit more of the local market scene and what was happening here, and saw a real opportunity to kind of do some good in this space.
So when you and Katie were at these, going around the country picking, you say you saw vegetables and fruit that weren't obviously the supermodel variety that made it into the stores. So were you seeing them being dumped or something, or is that why you say, my gosh, they'll just chuck them out?
Essentially, yeah, it was just like growers didn't have a lot of options if they didn't meet the market expectation or the spec for export markets. It's not just local market demand. It was overseas, export countries and things like that have arguably even stricter criteria to meet. And growers, they're at the mercy of so much, especially Mother Nature. So as soon as you have a storm come through that can kind of really have a throw-on effect for a lot of the produce that's grown, suddenly you might see a piece of fruit that's kind of scarred and healed over or slightly bent out of shape, and that's the repercussions of Mother Nature. And unfortunately, those are the ones that don't make the cut.
Isn't it crazy? Because they're still perfectly edible, and I can understand why you went, what's going on? So the way it is now, Angus, so you and Katie went, right, let's do something with this fruit and veg. So the way it works is your customers can get on and they can pick sizes weekly, isn't it, delivered of all fruit or all veg or a mixture. But is it true you don't get to pick? It's all kind of what's in season and what you've got?
Well, it somewhat changed over the years. Like it very much started out as a kind of one size fits all type box, but then we were quick to notice that different households have different needs, they have different wants. So we've morphed from being just this one box to a range of different size boxes to suit different sized households. We also, we understand that customers, households don't want certain veg, or they might want certain veg, or lack other options. So, for example, if you've got a lemon tree or an apple tree in your backyard, you might not be so fussed on the apples. So we actually started just over a year ago to introduce this exclusions offering in our Wonky Boxes. So as a Wonky Box customer, if there are products that you have a little less fancy for, then you just set that on your account system, and we make a promise that if it happens to be a week when we're sourcing or buying that product from some growers, we'll make a promise that we swap that out for something that you would prefer, basically.
Awesome. All right. And so you, as you said, you're coming into your fourth year, or you've finished your fourth year, which is great.
About to head into our fourth year now, and about to head into it. And we've got this new initiative, the Wonky Pantry, which I think we're going to touch on, right?
Tell her, I'm ready, Angus. Hit us. What's the Wonky Pantry?
So it's essentially a new piece to Wonky Box, where customers can now add products to their existing box selection. So there might be items out there that customers we wouldn't typically put in the box, but suddenly we've had the opportunity to work with a supplier to add to the box. It's also our opportunity to sort of branch into the wider food chain, start tapping into different food categories, because the reality is that the problem that we're trying to solve here, which is the food waste dilemma, it's not just produce where you find this, it's all areas of food. So, minute reasons like packaging flaws, companies that have recently rebranded, but they're still sitting on several items of stock that have got their old branding on, like these kind of things where the supermarkets don't necessarily take that old product, but it's still perfectly good, it's fine to eat, it's fine to consume. Or it might just be, surplus production runs of coffee beans, for example, or anything of that nature, basically.
That's great. So where are you sourcing all these from? Is it when they just kind of pop up?
So we've been in touch with a lot of brands, a lot of exciting companies, kind of across New Zealand who we believe might have had the problem. Often more than not, companies will have that dilemma. So a mixture of us sort of reaching out, trying to find new companies to work with, as well as new companies that are learning about the pantry and actually suddenly thinking, shit, there's a solution here for some of our problems.